Let's talk about how to interview over video. I first met Desola at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. She approached me for aspiring Scrum Master mentoring, and I could tell right away that she was talented. But the first time we met over video, her lighting was so dark it felt like the haunted house at Disneyland. And she has beautiful thick hair, lots of it. But the only problem was that it was hanging in her face. I felt like I was talking to her hair versus talking to her. So what you're going to learn in this sprint are some little-known but essential video interview tips to help you do an outstanding interview over video. We'll cover lighting, hair, skin tones, how to dress, background, technology, and distractions. So back to Desola. Make sure that your interviewer can see you well. Unlike Desola, choose any hairstyle as long as your hair is out of your face and not obscuring the camera. Now, let's talk about the all-important topic of lighting. Basically, the most important lighting for you to have in your face is called a key light. Place that light in front of you at a 45-degree angle. Position it so it lights one half of your face more than the other. You might wonder why. Because this type of lighting creates contour. It mimics how you would look in person. So place it to create a triangle shadow from your nose to the darker side of your face. And in case you're wondering, you don't need expensive lighting to accomplish this. Just take a lamp you already have and put it on a table or a stand that's about 3 feet in front of your face and off to a 45-degree angle, and you'll be ready to go. Your skin will tend to the golden or warm yellow undertones, sometimes with yellowish undertones, pale peach or dark. Your hair could be light brown, red, dark brown, or strawberry blonde, your natural color, that is. Your eye color typically is light blue, gray-green, blue-green, or cool brown. On the other hand, if your nail bed is reddish or pink or blue-toned, then you have cool skin tone, that's me. That means that your skin will tend to the blue, red, or pink undertones, and your skin color will likely be pale white, olive, or dark. Your hair color is going to tend to be dark brown, black, or natural blonde, and your eyes will likely be amber, dark brown, hazel, blue, or green. Don't just look at your skin color. People with dark skin can be cool, and people with light skin can be warm. So, how do you find what looks best for your particular skin tone? And this is not just for women. Guys, this is for you too. If you're cool, you'll look good in blues, teals, lilacs, lavenders, and soft rose colors. If you're warm, you'll look good in oranges, camel, gold, scarlet red, and ochre. Do dress for the job you want, even over video, or especially over video. Traditionally, people wore suits for interviews. But today on the job, Scrum Masters don't wear suits. So what I advise all genders is to dress slightly better than business casual, like wearing a blazer. Now here's something obvious, but I think it's worth mentioning because I've seen it fail with unhappy results. Make sure you have a strong internet connection. One of my apprentices, Shauna, used to freeze every 3 minutes over Zoom because she had a bad internet connection in her New York apartment. Believe me, you really don't want this to happen during an interview. Why is it so important? Because the interviewer is going to think, wow, if she's freezing a lot during something important like an interview, for sure she's going to freeze during her daily stand-ups with her team and other Scrum events. We really can't have that. Now, if the interviewer is feeling generous that day, they might ask you if this is a temporary problem with your internet. But most will just eliminate you, honestly. So do whatever you need to do to start with a strong internet connection. You can get a booster, for example, at Best Buy and places like that. And while we're on the subject of technology, check all your technology the week before and the day before, including your speaker, microphone, and the app you're going to be using for video conferencing. Finally, plan for your surroundings to be quiet with no distractions. I'll tell you a true story from my own experience about what not to do. On a very hot day in July, I logged into my video conference to be interviewed for a job I really wanted. This was about 5 years ago. I'd been careful not to schedule any meetings beforehand, and I'd taken some quiet time before to walk my dog and my daughter's puppy, Felix, while I was babysitting for a couple of days. So sitting at my desk in the living room, I got started with the interview just fine. I said, "Hi, Vani, really nice to meet you." But then I felt something on my leg. I looked down and saw Felix bumping his head into my calf to try to get me to pet him. What to do? I decided to ignore him in the hope that he would just go away. Vani said, "So Kelly, tell me a little bit about yourself." I started in on my personal brand and got 2 sentences out of my mouth. Then something bumped my thigh, and then my chair. Felix again. So I said to Vani, "Could you hang on? I'm babysitting my daughter's puppy, and he's interrupting me, so I need to go into a different room." Vani laughed and said, "Sure." So I picked up my laptop and walked into my spare bedroom, closed and locked the door, and sat down. "I'm ready," I said. "Thanks for bearing with me." Then she asked me her next question, but as I started to answer, I saw the door pop open. You guessed it, Felix again. This time, he ran over to me joyfully and tried to climb up my leg. So I hooked my big toe into his collar and tried to hold him down for the rest of the interview. Yikes. At the end of the interview, I thanked Vani and signed off. I thought, there's no way in the world I'm going to get this job. I was so distracted trying to answer her questions. But guess what? I did get the job. Fortunately, I had 2 more interviews, which were dog-free and distraction-free. And I learned later, Vani's a dog person. Obviously, the moral of this story is go out of your way to make sure you'll have no interruptions. For example, as I'm filming this video, I've exiled my dog to the kitchen upstairs. I closed the door and he's been barking, so I'm stopping the video, restarting. It's really frustrating. So we're all in this together here. So also silence your phone, lock your door, do whatever you need to do to make sure you have a quiet, focused space for your interview. So what you learned in this sprint were some little known but essential video interview tricks to help you do an outstanding interview over video. By now, you should know what you need to do around lighting, hair, skin tones, how to dress, your background, technology, and distractions. Do your homework and you'll set the stage for an outstanding interview.